Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to Headmaster's Homeroom. I am Lady Hamilton, and that's right, it's art night. I'm so excited to welcome everybody to the show tonight. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Saturday. I know it's going to be much better as we sit there and unwind and look at amazing artwork tonight. But let's start by saying hello to our wonderful viewers. Hello to everybody over there on Rumble. It's so great to see you guys. Happy Saturday. Hello to everyone over there on X. We're super excited for having you join us. Hello, everyone over there on Pilled. Love it. You guys keep the art memes going. And hello to everybody on YouTube. So excited to have everybody. It's full house tonight. You guys do me a favor and hit those buttons because we love to share this show and show off our guests' amazing work. So please hit those likes, shares, follows, and then thank you guys for all the stuff that you do. Not only do you guys share out the shows and the promos, which I'm truly grateful for, but you guys also bless me with your rants, subscriptions, cash apps, pills, tips, and more. Thank you guys so much for that. And keep them coming because we need that for the show. Tonight, you guys, it is art night, and we are welcoming back our good friend, Steven Johnson. Oh, this is going to be awesome. His inspiring work is deeply rooted in stuff like breathtaking landscapes in California's Central Coast. But tonight, you guys are in luck because we're talking about sketches and stuff that turned into an amazing book that he illustrated. So you guys, we're going to be having a great conversation about that. We are also going to invite you guys just tonight to slow down, reflect, recognize the divine work that he has done. He's absolutely timeless with his technical excellence. We are so excited for Steven's decades of dedication and creative growth. He has been influenced by everything from classic comic book illustrations to the works of legendary artists. And we know that he has developed a signature style that blends elegant beauty with powerful storytelling. And we are super excited to welcome him. So everyone, do me a favor. Let's, I just want to copy that. Let's welcome my great friend, Steven Johnson. Hello, hello.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome back. Welcome back. So excited to have you.
Welcome to my studio / barn, and enjoy the wasp and the. Actually, I had a family of skunks living underneath the shed over there. And if you've never seen a baby skunk, they're really super cute, and they're harmless too. Yeah.
That is awesome. That is so awesome. Because you guys went, and I'm going to show you where to follow him shortly. But if you're following him over on X, he will share these pictures of his wonderful little critters.
Yeah.
Are they still living with you?
Yeah. The skunks actually, Sally, well, the males don't stay. The female has to raise them all by herself. The male just comes and does his thing and then he leaves. But she's got 3 babies that we saw, and I actually walking to feed the cats last night, walked within probably about 1.5 feet of one of the babies, and they don't do anything. They just leave, But Sally knows me, and so I can get pretty close to her too. I can get within 3 feet of her, and she doesn't. And if she does get scared, she leaves. She doesn't spray. But anyway,
Right. That is just really unique as we sit there and learn about the life of the skunks. That is just awesome. What are you guys saying in the chat? Right. I know that they're really cute. The only thing you got to worry about is the smell, but they're literally defending themselves. They just have, the worst odor, but that's the way that they protect themselves. And Cass says skunks are really cute, sweet. Just don't upset one. That's right.
Well, there is an advantage that I have, and everything works out for good in the end if we can wait it out with patience. But due to a car accident, I fractured my skull and lost my sense of smell. So I have no sense of smell. So skunks are not a threat to me.
No.
Anyway, yeah.
That's awesome. And I was wondering, thank you for reposting the stream. I appreciate that, MEG. Thank you very much. And I appreciate you guys. So, what's really interesting is if they get to know you, right, then you don't ever really have that problem of them feeling like you're a predator and something that they have to worry about.
Right. I talk to them when I go out to the shed, which is where I've got a lot of my library, my Bible study books and everything out in the shed. And they live underneath there. But I do talk to them, so they know my voice. At least Sally does. her kids, I think, leave after a while, after the season's over. But yeah, I can get pretty close to her. And the possums are actually on the other side of this wall right here. And they're great. I mean, they're great. We had one give birth to her. I think she had 13 babies because they're a marsupial. And she gave birth to 13 babies. My wife was able to pet her. I never got the chance. Well, I never tried to, really. But my wife was able to touch her. But anyway.
That's awesome. Right? We're taking a little bit of learning all about amazing critters. Are those the only critters that you have?
No, there's about 4 years ago, we had a doe that brought her fawns underneath the olive tree, and she died.
Oh,
and
wow.
yeah, and well, there was only one fawn, and I called the animal control, and they wouldn't do anything. And I said, I crossed my mind. I said, well, what if I put her down? And they said, well, you do. We'll come and arrest you because you can't fire a weapon in town. So I had to watch her die. Anyway, she died about 4 o'clock in the morning. And there's a reason for this. So I had to take her out to the street and everything. Anyway, there's a fawn. I'm just hoping it's the fawn that watched his mom die, that he or she comes back and hangs out underneath the olive tree. Actually, my wife came up on 9 of them the other night. But anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I have all kinds of critters here where I live too. And I just always love it. So we have like a back acre that's there, it's kind of untouched, but it's zoned in. It's just kind of a lovely little glen that they know that they're safe. My husband puts out food for them, and they always bring their babies and kind of go and eat all the wild blackberries. And the babies just kind of hide, under, the tall grasses and stuff. And we get turkeys and foxes and all kinds of stuff. And
see, we don't have foxes. We don't have foxes here or turkeys. The deer are running wild in the Tascadero. They're all over the place. But the only animal I don't really care for is raccoons. Raccoons they're pretty aggressive. And I run them off. I don't like them around because they throw the food all over the place, and the cats are afraid of them and everything. So anyway, but the cats will eat with the skunks. The skunks and cats get along. The possums, they get along. Yeah. Anyway.
That is so awesome. Yeah. I love it so hard. But they say that the raccoons are getting more and more domesticated, right? And they definitely are not afraid of humans. But
no.
I don't know. I just kind of, foxes are beautiful, but they like to come after my chickens. So we had to just build them.
Well, they will. Yeah.
Right.
Actually, possums will kill chickens too.
That's
possums,
right.
If they get into you, they'll kill chickens.
That's right.
But anyway.
Oh, it's funny. Welcome to the wildlife show, everyone.
There you go. Maybe I ought to be a wildlife artist. I never. Anyway.
Well, many of the artists out there are. And that's really exciting. But we always come up with great facts here on the Headmaster's Homeroom. And now you guys just got to learn about skunks, possums, raccoons, fawns, and more. That's awesome, Stephen. I'm super excited. Never a dull day in your life, I'm sure.
There you go. Well, you're familiar with this area, aren't you? Because you used to go to Cavalier, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I am. I've kind of lived a little bit everywhere, but I've also traveled to almost every state in this country, one way or another. But I live out in the East Coast now. So, in a foresty area. That's why I have like the turkeys and the stuff now.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah. We're about 20 minutes from San Simeon, which is where Cavalier Restaurant is. Hearst Castle.
Oh my gosh.
All that, yeah.
Right. I know. Beautiful area. Oh, I every once in a while I'll look at that area and it's like, if I had millions of dollars, what a place to live.
If your last name was Hearst or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just hoping, my last name's Hamilton. I don't get any royalties from that. I keep hoping. No. Not yet. Anyways, tell us a little bit about your art journey. We've got so many new viewers that may not know you and may not have seen the show, Stephen. So tell us about this world of art. Were you always an artist? Are you an artist because most of them have other careers?
When I first started drawing when I was probably about second grade. Me and my brother used to sit in front of our TV on a coffee table and draw comic books. I got involved and I just started to be attracted to comic books. And So we made up our own superheroes and stories and all that stuff. And that just kept on growing. And I kept, he did too, but he since doesn't do it anymore. But I just kept going and just, at school, I noticed it got a lot of attention. And so I continued to do a lot of drawing and stuff like that. There's been times where I've kind of had to step away due to financial reasons and stuff like that. My schooling is, I'm blessed. Okay, my most formal schooling was due to a workman's comp injury. And with workman's comp, they have to retrain, or they have to retrain you. So they sent me to a junior college in San Diego, in East County, San Diego, to learn to be a technical illustrator because they had seen that I could draw. And this was without CAD. So the technical illustration was not computer aided design. So it was all by hand. So I learned these techniques that were just like incredible from these artists that could make a brake drum look like you could touch it, using airbrush and zippertone screens and all this stuff. So I learned that, couldn't get a job, came back home, got a job at Hearst Castle, went back home to Cambria, worked at Hearst Castle for about 10 years, kept doing artwork, but nothing really caught on. And then things kind of changed in my life and it became more of an option. And I started to explore it a little bit more. And I started to get people started to pay attention to what I did and everything. And then I went, let me see here. Because of the comic book background and the technical illustration background, my desire is more as an illustrator, not a fine artist. And fine art is something where you render, a scene or something like that, where an illustrator takes words and turns it into pictures. And that's kind of because of the comic book background. That's kind of been my strength. I mean, I can do, barn houses and draw those and stuff. I think there's a couple of pictures that I did lately of just to make a little bit of money on doing a picture of a barn and stuff like that. But that's not what I feel my strength is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We all have our own strengths. I think, it's not that we can't do certain things. It's just that we have some comfort zones that we love to do. And one of the things about painting art or creating art in any way is if you're not having a good time, right? If you're not having a good time creating, kind of, what's the point, in my opinion? Unless you're getting paid a whole lot of money to do something. But, still, you can see it in your work. If you're like, because your heart, your passion, your soul's not into it. That's how artists work, is with that kind of love.
That's an interesting thing, because that was a battle that I was going through, was the fact of if illustration is the best complement to commercial art and actual fine art, because it's jumping that gap where I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but illustration is the medium in between total commercial art, which you get paid for, and fine art, which you hope to get paid for or have another income coming in so you can pursue that. But I've been blessed with the authors that I've worked with have allowed me free reign to do illustration as I want to.
Right. And that's a good option. I mean, there's been a few of the artists that I know that are collaborating with authors and whatever, because this is a really great way, if you guys are interested and want to make some money and get connected. Illustration or in illustrating books and stuff like that is just a really another awesome opportunity for you guys. So continue, Stephen. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of, the reason I sent those sketches to kind of show you how I do take words and turn them into pictures. And,
Right. I love it. Just one second. I'm just writing because so many great compliments and comments.
Oh, really?
Right. And I'm just, we got so many people coming on. coming on all these different channels. So thank you guys so much for your wonderful comments and compliments. You know, everybody's like talking about their area that you live in and so forth too, right? Because isn't that a beautiful area? So how do you get inspired? Because sometimes you send me little videos and just make me jealous. I'm like, stop, Stephen, and I don't mean that, but I'm like, stop.
I know,
I want to be there so bad. So do you? I mean, because you do a lot of illustration, but do you ever go out and just be like, I need to paint this ocean, or I need to paint my surroundings living in such a beautiful area?
Yeah, and I didn't include it, but this album, or actually a musical album that I wrote, an album cover that I did, was for and that was based on actually a couple of scenes, one near Morro Bay and one near San Simeon. And I used to go up to the cove up there, her state beach, and sit and just draw the waves and get comfortable with how they looked and how everything kind of just fit together.
Right. This is the stuff he sends me, everyone. Look at this.
Yeah. My great grandfather landed there.
Really?
The pier used to be right there. It's not any longer, but on a low tide, you can see where the pylons used to be.
Right.
And that's her state beach. That's where they used to, the whalers would pull. That was where they would come from Carmel down to here, or Monterey, whatever the bay is up there. That was one of the major bays. Morro Bay wasn't even opened yet. It wasn't done yet. San Luis was, but see, Santa Barbara was, I think Ventura was the next one. Right. So these Portuguese whalers would land there. And according to stories I've heard, and my great uncle heard from his uncles, the blood would, or the ocean would be red with the blood of the whales, and they would be cooking the fat in these huge vats, and the smoke would be just dark smoke coming up. And anyway,
just have to make everybody jealous. If I have to go through the torture, you guys need to too. Look at how beautiful this is.
Oh, that point that you saw out there is just awesome to go out there. It's just beautiful out there. There was a couple of old buildings that are now since gone that I did some drawings a long time ago of, but anyway.
Just how much fun. And I want to show, because you guys, if you haven't seen, this is the album. This is the album cover he was talking about right here. Just so everyone can see. If you didn't see the first show, now I've just given you a little glimpse of what he's talking about. It is an amazing album cover. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And that was educational for me, because I hadn't been that good at doing, well, not good, but I just haven't done waves that often. So it took a while to sit there and just get in touch with what was going on.
Right.
And how to render it. And this tested me too, because Rob, the musician, he asked me to do the design, the total graphic design for the whole album, which I didn't know he wanted me to do until it happened. And I had to do the lettering in the front. And besides that, I did all the graphics in the back. And I learned to do Procreate, which was useful. I haven't used it that much since, but it was kind of cool to be able to learn how to use my iPad to move type around and set up type and do this and do that. So yeah.
Right. I'm so old school, guys. Yeah, I don't even know what that is. I don't know what Procreate is. I know what Canva is, but I don't know what Procreate.
Procreate is Apple's form of Photoshop.
Oh, okay.
It's a digital. It's a digital. Some people get really into it, but I don't know. It's a shame, because it can be used to complement your sketches and your drawings and stuff like that. I don't do it that, but you can. Or you can do totally design from Procreate or from the whatever. So, and a lot of people do that. So yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, I know they do. I'm so well, there's a whole story. It's not my story tonight, but yeah, I have a whole story about Photoshop, but that's all right. Right. Yeah. So yeah, awesome. You know what? But now we're going to get on to your illustration work, because that's what we're really here, you guys. I'm just showing you some clips from some amazing things that he tortures me with. But this is where we all need to go follow him, right? He belongs to our amazing artist corner over there, and he's just absolutely fantastic. So please go give him a follow, everyone, over there on X. Stephen, I don't know if you're on any other social media. You can shout that out if you want, but X is the place, man.
Yeah. I'm on Instagram. It's Johnson1259 is the title that I got there, but I probably should have been more prepared for this. I'm sorry. I've been dealing with this Bible scene, so my mind is there. I have a hard time going from the creative to the other side, jumping in between. There are some artists that can do it really well and do it really fast. They can market and they can market their artwork and create. I have a hard time doing that. But
well, we're all trying, right? We're all trying. And in the meantime, you guys support our local artists, because I'll tell you what, we all have, I always say we are an artist and we all have other jobs. Every single one of our, somebody asked, are these artworks for sale? They're always for sale, everyone. So reach out. It's just, I like to be a gallery and I love to support my artists. So, I got so many questions like what medium, whatever. So we just have a running theme every day. But this is why you need to go follow them on their local channels, because they might share out their prices. They might share out, wherever. You can also share out their work. It's just, my groups are a way for me to see them, because with the algorithms, if I didn't have communities or groups or you guys didn't tag me, I would never see your work. And that's the honest truth right there, because I get filled with so many different political things or whatever that I'm like, where's my artist? So thank heavens for communities and groups.
Yeah.
All right, everyone.
Do you want my website? Would that make any difference?
Sure. Tell me.
S Johnson fineart.com.
Okay, let me pull this up and we will put the link.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, I found you. I'm going to throw this. Yep, I'm going to throw this link in the chat for everybody to go find it. I'll also make sure this is in our permanent comment section here on Rumble, and you guys can go check that out. All right, that is on every chat right now. Your website.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
It's a beautiful day here. We've been getting high. It's been getting nice, actually.
Right. It's nice and warm here and humid where I am right now. So
yeah,
awesome. Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, my wife is flying to Tennessee Monday, flying to Nashville.
Wow.
And she's gonna be there for a month. She's got 4 kids that live back there. So either between Nashville and Chattanooga and part of Georgia. So she's gonna be all over there.
Nice.
For the month,
nice. Yeah. Awesome. And thank you guys for giving our guest a wonderful follow tonight. I appreciate that so much.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. All right. Here we go. So we are going through a process tonight, guys, of sketches and stuff like that. That's what we're kind of talking about. But all of the stuff we're seeing tonight, you want to introduce what this was made for, Stephen?
Okay. This was when I was a resident artist at one of the local galleries. John, a friend of mine that I'd known, and he'd known for years, but he was an author among other things. But he had an idea for a short story, and he comes in as this is right before COVID, so everything kind of fell apart. But anyway, he said, will you illustrate this short story for me? He had done some stories before.
Helena Johnson.
Hang on. Okay. Anyway. Anyway, so John asked me if I would illustrate this story, and I said yes. And so that's what this is. It was a short story. It became a little bit more complicated because I just took it under my wing and just ran with it and did a lot of work on it. Anyway, and the story it's called The Christmas Tease. And based on reality or not, I don't know. I think there was something to do with his daughter. His daughter, he's got twins. He's got a boy and a girl. But his daughter and his wife, an interaction that they had over a teapot. So the story is basically they set up for this this Christmas tea that using an English teapot that they would do every year and invite so many people. And it wasn't like huge, but they would have this thing every year. Well, what's her name in the book? Oriana Oriana becomes of age where she can help her mom get ready for the tea party, Christmas tea party. So it begins. I'll just start from the beginning. Does that sound like a good way to go?
Yeah.
Okay. So this page here is where there's an interaction between mom and Oriana about this being the perfect time for her to start helping with the tea party, with the Christmas tea party. Let me try to find that page. Here it is. And I'll read it, okay? Maybe that'll add some. Okay. This year, Oriana was 8 years old. This year, Oriana was 8 and old enough to help. As her belly flake swirled, she pushed a toy milk truck through the snow village. Now think about that. Try drawing that. Okay, anyway. Mom, who was heating wassail, I'm not totally sure what that is. I think it's a tea or something. Heating wassail on the stove, said, "The milk run started early today. Any trouble getting through all that snow, little darling?" "No problem at all." A morning dove cooed from the redwood tree beyond the kitchen window as Oriana savored her. So anyway, that's the other part, of the other page too, which I didn't present because I didn't have the sketch for it. Okay, so I'm stuck with this first paragraph to illustrate. Okay, so she pushed a toy milk truck through the snow village. So imagine that. I'm thinking, how can I show that? What is he talking about? And John gave me free rein, which was cool.
Nice.
So what's going on? What is it pushing a toy milk truck through a snow village? So immediately my mind went to so the snow village, or the snow, what forms snow better than your knees underneath a blanket in bed? See what I mean? So
right.
You're making this village and stuff like that. That's what began this idea. This was actually done at Barnes and Nobles in local. It's a coffee bar. And I went up to the coffee bar and didn't have anything other than just an idea. And I just started getting loose and drawing. And that's the actual coffee bar. And that's that's not the picture. Did I have that as the next picture?
You did.
I did. Okay. So this is, okay. I'm wrong on that. So forgive me. Let's start all over again. Okay.
No.
On this one. Okay. That was the next.
I can go back. You can finish your thought because he,
okay. Let's do that. Okay.
I don't have that.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So on this page. So, okay. This page began at Barnes and Nobles in the coffee bar with an idea, trying to interpret pushing a toy milk truck through a snow village. My mind immediately went to sitting in bed with your knees up and the blankets over your knees and playing in bed. Well, she didn't stay in bed, although the idea was for a while to keep her in bed. But how would the interaction be with her mom? That wouldn't happen. Where's this interaction happening? Well, I figured it was happening in the kitchen. So this toy milk truck then becomes something that she's playing with. The village becomes her knees covered by a blanket. And then I just threw all these other toys in there as characters in this village. Okay.
All right.
So that's what that became. And on the next page.
Okay.
Yeah.
One.
That's it. That conversation this is the beginning of the book. So I'm off track on that. Sorry about that. So this one here, this page here, again, back to that page. That's the same thing. That's a sketch for this page. One December morning, Oriana woke up with a flurry of snowflakes in her belly. The big day was finally here. Today was Christmas Queen's tea. Each year, in the week before Christmas, Oriana's mother hosted a holiday tea party for neighbors and friends. She made tiny raisin scones with lemon frosting, cut sandwiches into perfect triangles, and brewed fragrant sachets of the Christmas Queen's tea that came in a cherry plaid tin direct from England. So this became the first page, although initially in my design for the book, it wasn't. It was that other page. But this page here, and this was the sketch for this page. Okay, so
Right.
so this is their interaction. She's being invited to participate in the tea party. She's got this snow thing is going to be happening for 2 pages, so that the images stay the same with that. This was fun because I really grew as an artist. I started to understand pastels. This was sitting in the barn for probably about 3 months. It took me on this. Of course, in between other jobs, I've got to take care of the property. I've got to do this, got to do that. And so anyway, but I felt I really grew on this. I started to use pastel. Amsterdam makes a pastel board that is, you can use their pastel board, their watercolor board. Clay board's a little slick, doesn't take pastel really well, but their pastel board does really well. And you can build it, which I did. I learned from the artist that I shared the space with at the gallery, was an awesome watercolor artist. And she could do a watercolor wash that looked like an airbrush. It was amazing. So I took that from her and I did what they call underpainting. I don't know if you do underpainting, but it was a classic. I'm sorry if I'm talking too much. Anyway, it's a classic way the painters would do is they would always do an underpainting before they did the final piece. So everything was designed out. So on this one, I did the underpainting in watercolor, a watercolor wash, and then built everything on top of it.
Very cool. And no, I don't do anything that you do at all. I don't sketch. I don't underpaint. I have my own thing. I don't have, and I went through all the schooling and stuff too. And I'm like, nope, I have my own thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you know it better than I do, because I got it secondhand. Like I said, it was that junior college in San Diego, or the local junior college. That's the only schooling I had, other than just reading a lot about the illustrators that I really, I read how they did it.
Right.
And they did a lot of underpainting. The other thing, just a side note, I don't want to go too far on this, but they would do what they call vignetting. Mm-hmm. To vignette is to just show, you can see it on this picture right here. To vignette is just to show the main stuff. And that was a common technique these illustrators would do, probably to save time, but also to keep the main thing the main thing.
Right.
Anyway, so this is the page that I talked about. This was the one that starts which was what I thought was going to be page number 1. It actually became page 2. And this is where the belly flakes swirl and she pushes the milk truck through the snow and all that, blah, blah, blah. So this kind of just, rolls into that one. Yeah.
Right. So sorry guys, because I just put these in order as I got them. So I should have looked at page numbers. And
you were right. No, you were right.
This is the one that I guess we should have started with. Okay, go ahead.
No, you're right, because the one you showed is the first page. This is the second page. You're right. No.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the finished version of the one that you were just reading that part to us about pushing the truck through the snow, right? Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Awesome.
And
absolutely. Good.
It was a lot of fun. I mean, it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot too.
I bet you did. And it's always fun. I that's one thing I really kind of miss about going and being in art schools all the way through the master's program, because it was dedicated time. I mean, it's like when you're going to school full time, I mean, it's hard nowadays to take, I'm going to take 3 hours or 6 hours or whatever. I'm going to block that out. And then, you knew there was a grade coming there. You knew there was a project coming. And so now with life and you're busy and jobs and kids and raising the farm and whatever, you're like, okay, I got to, where do I squeeze in that block time? So I miss those days a lot. So I can understand that. It is beautiful. Go ahead. I
had to do that today because I've got yard work in the back that I've got to do. But this was more important. This Bible scene that I'm working on is I just feel really led to do it. And so I'm putting that aside. I'll do that actually when I take my wife is gone. I'll cut grass and all that stuff. So anyway.
Right. I know. Yeah. I'm always so busy with the show, guys. I'm like, I don't know, with that, the house, the jobs, or whatever. I mean, this is my job. I spend way over 40, 60 plus hours a week, just even with the shows.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I'm
I'm
like,
sure.
when do I paint? When do I paint? 3 a.m. Now, girl needs some sleep.
Yeah.
Anyways, we love this. Absolutely love this. But, it's so amazing. And I love, right? It's just really awesome. He writes little notes to himself here, too. I think that's great. So tell us about this sketch.
Oh, there's notes all over my stuff. Okay, so this one here, this is where, okay, so I'll read you what is happening here. This is, and actually this is page, not the page sequence I got because I missed a couple of them. Anyway, so this one, the lines that go with this is, okay, Oriana replied, trying to hide her disappointment. This is about her mom not letting her take this valuable teapot to go play with. She couldn't touch it because it was supposed to be just for the Christmas tea. Okay. So Oriana replied, okay, trying to hide her disappointment. She had really wanted to hold her mother's beautiful porcelain teapot and pretend that she was a grown-up pouring her guests cups of fragrant and spicy black tea. Now, while the scones were cooling on racks and sandwiches, they were elegantly arranged on a 3-tiered plate. Oriana and her mom began setting the dinner table. So this one here, it was before I had the barn for my studio. I was resident artist, and but there was no time to work at the gallery. So I had the shed that I worked in where the skunks live under, and this idea came to me as I was looking around. Okay, I was just okay. Initially, when I started anything, and this might sound weird, but I start with an abstract.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it works as an abstract, it's going to work as a real piece. So see the arc of the table? Huh?
This is an abstract to you?
It began as an abstract, just a lot of loose lines and everything. See how that circular line there separates separates the table from her and everything? Look at those cups follow that line. And then the interaction between them. Anyway, so I just played with loose ideas and went and kind of just played around with, I know how to draw human heads and stuff like that and faces, and then the interaction and stuff. But yeah.
Nice. And I don't think, this is a different version, but I don't think, is this part of the same?
That's the same picture. Okay. I got going too fast here. I got to slow down. Those sketches, whenever you see a sketch, was done without the models. Okay, so I had the entire book sketched out. I guess they call it a storyboard. So I had everything, every page designed. So now there was what was her name? Can't remember her name now. Priscilla. Priscilla and her daughter. We went to church with in Cambria, and I asked them, would you guys pose for me? And they said yes. So I went up to their house with these sketches and used my iPad and shot probably about 50 or 60 photographs according to my sketches. You see, if you go back to that sketch, you'll see the design here.
Okay, hold on.
You see? Okay. You see how they're sitting together?
Mm-hmm. So
I had Priscilla and her daughter sit in the same arrangement around the table.
I see. Now, so that's what it comes out with this.
Right. Now the only thing that was in the actual photograph with Priscilla and her daughter was that cup, that bowl with the spoon. The rest of those, I went in and pulled these images. I've been blessed with the gift to be able to draw what I see. Mm-hmm. So I just picked up a teapot or coffee, whatever that stuff is, and set it on the table and drew it. So it interacted with them.
Right. That is awesome. Absolutely fantastic.
But see, that sketch was the director for when I had the two models ready to pose. I said, okay, do this, because I'd already drawn it out.
And do they have to sit there the whole time, or you take a photo?
No, I took a photo.
Right.
No, I probably took this pose here. I probably took about 15 photos.
Nice.
till I felt it was right. And then they were all stored on my iPad, so I could just bring them back on my iPad.
And so, and you're looking at them as you're sketching this out. I'm assuming you're just, graphite and a sketch pad.
Well,
nice.
this is actually Amsterdam board. It was that same board, but this is a watercolor board, and it takes charcoal really well. Charcoal and graphite, it takes really well. I think that's mostly charcoal, and with a brush, because you can smooth it with a brush, and it's got this really nice tooth to it. I had a lot of fun with it. I almost got to the point where I got caught with it too much. And that's a dangerous thing for all artists to become too what word am I looking for here? To get too caught up in one thing and not go any further. I mean, I could have stayed with doing charcoal on watercolor board forever because I was getting good at it. It was fun, but you got to challenge yourself.
Yeah, I have some other artists too that are just really phenomenal at certain techniques, and they've moved on. They're like, I'm never going to do that again. But I'll tell you what, when you are really, really good at something, you can create a base, and people miss that. Just saying, it's just something that you might want to go revisit as well too, because people seem to really miss those kind of things as well. But this is beautifully done.
Yeah,
beautifully done.
Okay,
on the right on this. Go ahead.
Okay, this one, let me find the page for that one. Okay. So basically what's happened is Oriana went against her mother's will, took the teapot up to have a tea party with her stuffed animals. So I'll read this.
Okay.
The desire to ignore her mother's wishes was overwhelming. Oriana quickly took the teapot from the shelf and hurried to her room. If she was quick and quiet, there'd be time for some pretend tea. Oriana arranged 7 of her stuffed bunnies in a circle on her bedroom carpet. She put the teapot in the center and passed around a stunning, ordinary, imaginary carrot cake topped with mangoes and cream cheese. The bunnies all murmured their approval. Ori told a joke, and she imagined her audience guffawing and spewing cream cheese everywhere. That's what brought that page on.
Right.
I bought all those stuffed animals at Goodwill.
Nice.
And I would throw them on the ground and arrange them. That was, and I can't remember her name, Priscilla's daughter's name. Anyway, this was one of the photos that I had her pose for me, holding a cup up like that.
Right. That is awesome. Absolutely awesome. And so is this the actual page for the book too? Is this tone of blue?
Yeah. Yeah.
So why?
The reason for that is I was running out of time. I was taking a long time. And I went to doing charcoal, and then I did a blue page. This one got actually, some people said, why'd you do this? And I did it because I just wanted to play. It was fun time for me. I just wanted to see what that blue pencil would do on that charcoal or that watercolor board.
Right. I was kind of wondering, because the other ones are in full color, and yet this one is not that I don't like it. I just was wondering if there's a specific reason that you wanted, to have it this way. But it's pretty cool. Yeah. Pretty amazing. Absolutely.
I played with composition on that. See that fountain above, or that lamp above her head? Of course, that wasn't there, but I wanted this L shape. I wanted to just really do this L shape thing.
Right.
And notice how the negative space right there in front. If you use negative space like that against positive space, it actually welcomes you right into the scene.
That's right.
Because it doesn't. There's no borders. It takes the border out.
Right. And we're looking at, upside down pale.
Yeah.
You can see it by its shape, but it tends to bring a certain focus to your eye to create that. And it's just really, really awesome. This is, everyone's loving this, right? I think that is great.
Well, when I did that one, I was figuring this ain't going to work. It's taken too long. John moved to Washington. I thought this is all over. So now I'm just doing it for fun. And that's really kind of the reason for that. I didn't think it would finish it. I'd be able to finish it. So I'm just going to experiment.
And what does the author think of this work? I'm sure that they were.
Oh, he loved it. He loved it. Unfortunately, the book didn't sell or anything, but
really, how is that?
I just didn't. The public, I'm not. It just didn't work. I mean, John even put money up to get it published, and it got published, but the eventual book didn't turn out very good. But anyway, it is what it is.
Right. I'll tell you,
it might be my marketing skills. I'm too busy going on to other projects, and I just didn't have a chance to market it. Anyway.
Right. Well, a good publisher would do that. That's how I get a lot of my guests who are authors. I know a few publishers that reach out, and I just have some great people on them because our kids need good books. They need really good books, and this would have been, a great thing to provide our youth.
It was. I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff happened. I don't know why they did what they did. It seemed like they wanted to just make money off it. So I don't want to badmouth anybody. Right. Anyway.
All right. Tell us about this one.
Okay. This one. Well, it's written in there. Yeah. That was my notes to myself. Now, see my note to the other side? See that keep this, that arrow that's going over. If you ever look at my sketches, there's notes all over them because I'm talking to myself constantly as I'm doing this work. Well, the Lord talks to me too, totally. But anyway, keep this is to show that arc that's going on behind them. Anyway, so this is the end of the book after Ori gets caught with the teapot and Mom plays a dirty joke on her. Anyway, I don't know if that's included with the artwork. But anyway, so this reads like this. So this is everything as if this is the end of the book. Oh, Ori, her mother gave her a hug and kissed the top of her head. That's a perfect idea. Oriana relaxed in a bear hug that was even better than scones and pretty teapots. What a relief forgiveness is. Once more, Oriana felt the flutter of snowflakes in her belly. It was December. She was 8 years old. Her mother loved and trusted her, and today was a Christmas Queen's tea. So that one, I really just got loose and played with shadows and did look at stuff outside in the backyard. And that bench was out in the backyard. And those people, of course, were from my head and along with references and stuff like that. But I just put them all together,
Right. But love this.
Yeah.
Love this. So you guys.
One thing. Do you, when you're doing your work, do you ever get in the zone where you just get lost and everything is just working? And it's just this, that was one of those times. Everything was just like incredible. Everything was just working. And I was just feeling really good about what was going on and stuff like that. Anyway.
That's the only way I can paint, actually.
Yeah.
I have to literally, that's probably one of the reasons that stops me so much, because if I don't have my soul going with this and I'm not in that mood or in that zone, I can't. I don't sketch. I don't do anything like that. I have a canvas in front of me and it's all about literally my soul going right into that.
You just jump right in then. Yeah.
Always. And then, sometimes if I stop too, then try to get back into that zone is very difficult for me. So it makes me a very slow artist.
See now, see that, and a lot of the friends I had at the gallery work like that. But see, I don't get into something. I've been told, this is probably not a way. Anyway, I was told, don't do that. Don't set a time limit and stick to it. Anyway, but I don't take a step forward unless I know every step I'm going to take before I get to the final piece. The final piece has everything mapped out, and there's no surprises. I don't know if that's good or bad, but anyway.
That's just you. Other artists are totally different, Like I said, I went through all the classes. I've went through the drawing and the whatever and all that kind of stuff. It's just not me. And there are, it depends. Like there's a lot of research when I do my statement pieces. I mean, months and months and months of research, because what goes behind those have to be factual. The information I'm putting out there has to be 100% factual. So it's like doing a major midterm paper or a thesis paper, and then putting it all together. Now, mathematically, what my system is, I have to do a certain order. So if I put collaging in there, that has to come before the painting. So I have to literally kind of in a way sketch it out so I know where does that certain piece fit. Other than that, though, if I'm just doing a mainly a lot of abstract, it's just go time. It's just go time. Having fun.
Yeah.
So let's look at this. What came out of that sketch on his forgiveness.
And that one was the final page for this book. And that was the final piece that I did for this book. And I felt like I'd really grown because I was able to, for one, there was so much emotion in the photograph. I don't know if you can see it in her face and both their faces. And I was able to capture that and work really hardcore with the soft pastels, because by now I had invested in soft pastels that were a little bit more intense than the other ones I was using. And so you get your colors a little bit more. I was never really a color person. I was more values and grayscales and stuff like that, because my lack of training. But I started to just get used to color and more understanding of the power of it, rather than grays and line and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is the first piece I ever highlighted you on because it was Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think this year was it.
No, it wasn't. No,
last year.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'm looking for an artist that can celebrate moms, and that's right. This was just perfect.
I sent that. Yeah.
Right. So, I'm always trying to fit a theme, that's always funny too. And it's awesome. Absolutely. No, not the final page, but this is the final page of that sketch.
Right.
And not the final page of the book.
That's the final page of the book. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay. Because we have more. All right.
Yeah. I didn't send them to you in order. I guess I should. I think of it kind of crazy. Anyway.
It's okay. It's okay. Because you know what? We flow it. And we're all here to enjoy the work, no matter what order it's in and the process. And thank you guys so much. I just loving all your beautiful compliments. Thank you and comments. I appreciate that, everyone. All right, we got a few other ones. So I don't know, because I have a few sketches that don't have follow-up pieces. So you can just basically tell us where this is in the book and what was this.
Okay, this was the page before that page you just showed, the hug. This is the page before that. This is where they're making up. Because she catches her with the teapot that she wasn't supposed to take, and they have a confrontation.
Okay.
That picture's there too. But this is where Mom makes amends, I guess is the word, by giving her baking scones or giving her cherry scones or something. So, and this was actually, there's not a lot of writing about this page. This was the page where this is how she resolves the conflict between them, is offering her this cherry scone that they eat. Because, the type doesn't match it. But, yeah. But.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. Moms are like, where's the composition? I like that. So what are you asking yourself on this one?
Okay. The rules of composition are what draw people to the piece. So what's going on? What is going to cause somebody to look? One of the things that I've dealt with a lot as an artist is individual artist is, how am I not just rendering a photograph? There has to be something more than my interpretation, visual interpretation of a photograph. So where's the composition? There's got to be something that draws them in, that those rules of composition are made clear. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but then rather than just a photograph. So that's why I had to enlarge. Notice that the door posts and all that stuff, I had to bring that to the forefront to give an L shape to the whole thing. Notice everything kind of feeds. Well, her shoulder feeds off of that door, and so does the scone. Now you got an L happening here with her arm. Notice her arm going up. Well, look at the tilt of her head, same as her arm. See, those things in repetition are pleasing to your eye. But you know more, probably more about composition than I do. I just, read. But anyway, so that was my question. That was before I finished it. That was my question to myself. I can render this photograph, this drawing, or this picture of a lady holding something. And actually, she wasn't holding that. I had to add the scones and all that stuff. But I'm blessed with the ability to be able to draw what I see, which I think we can all get if we try hard enough to draw what you see. You can get to that point of being a good renderer. But unfortunately, that's just a part of art. And how important it is, I don't know. That's up for everybody to decide. But anyway.
Right. And, the type of artist you are, but right. You were definitely blessed with drawing techniques, and these are fantastic. So this must be the finished piece of that. Okay.
Right. That's her. Yeah. That's her and she wasn't holding scones on the picture. She was holding a plate, and I had to add the scones and everything.
Look at that.
I think we went ahead and bought those, and I put them on the table on a plate, and then put them, kind of morphed them into her hands or whatever. Now in the book, the bottom part of that picture isn't there. It's cut off right at the elbow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But I like this. I mean, this is very different from the sketch, but I like that circle, that is enclosed behind her, gives us, a appeal to, really focus in on that, and that she's out of the frame per se. That's what kind of called, but this is really neat. Again, with a little splash of that blue. Yeah.
And that was just because I was playing with it. This idea is not mine, actually. Lendecker and Norman Rockwell were masters of doing the circle.
Yes, he was. Norman Rockwell, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
And because it would just almost not all of his pieces. And actually, Rockwell learned from Lendecker. He not under him. Well, he didn't. They were friends, but Lendecker was far more established. So you'll see a lot of what Rockwell does is kind of similar to what Lendecker did.
Right. And I think because the fact that Rockwell was on like all the posts, and things like that. And he did a lot of things for, like the Scouts and for whatever. Mm-hmm. Because he was in a magazine regularly, everybody I think might have seen that and probably, recognized that was his, his signature, even though we always learn from the masters. We usually take something, with us as we learn from different people that influence our art and style.
Yeah.
It's absolutely awesome.
The illustrators, as far as teachers, they're the ones that have taught me, because through just studying what they did, especially the ones of the 30s and 40s, these guys were of the Howard Pyle school, which was like, what was his name? N.C. Wyeth. Some of these just major, the guy that did Treasure Island and these little children's books and all that stuff, but their work was so incredible. And I just have followed that. So that's been what kind of locked me into doing stuff, is to be an illustrator like that and use their ideas and see how they did it.
Exactly. Those are the people who influence you to do what you do.
Yeah.
All right. Tell us about this piece.
This is the confrontation. This is when, so Ori has taken the teapot upstairs, had her fake tea party up there with her stuffed animals, and Mom found out. So Mom goes up and pulls a dirty trick, which there's a picture of too, and takes this pottery, puts it around the floor, takes the teapot, puts the pottery on the ground, and then puts a book right on top of it. So it looks like the book broke the teapot. So Ori thinks that the teapot's broken. She goes downstairs to face the judgment or whatever, because Mom has called her down to come talk to her. She can't find the teapot. So Ori comes down, and this is where they do the face-off. This was a tough one. And the sad thing about it, it wasn't included in the book.
Really?
It was one of the harder pictures, yeah.
And so how did that work? Because this is the final one here.
Yeah.
So is it the author that chooses what goes in or what doesn't go in?
Yeah. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
But did
And
he
I
just
don't
take
know.
out the
I
whole
think it.
conference?
I think it had something to do with her face. I think
I was gonna
mom's face. Yeah.
I was gonna ask, did he take out the whole confrontation section of the book?
No, it's still there, but this
Did-
page isn't included. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This was
So-
a hard one. This is where I really played. See about vignetting. See how I've left parts out and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And see how her back. There's nothing behind her. So she actually sends you right into the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And this was tough to do that. But again, going back to where broke my hip when I was 23, unloading a truck. I was a meat cutter and working in a grocery store and slipped on the dock. Anyway, broke my hip, hairline fracture. God works everything out for good if we have the patience to wait it out. Because what happened was, and I learned, I won't go into the whole thing, it takes too long. But what came out of it was that job in technical illustration, or to learn to be a technical illustrator, even though there was no money behind it because they didn't teach me CAD, and the insurance company wouldn't pay to send me to a school that did teach CAD or computer-aided design, so I couldn't get a job. But what I did learn is I learned to do things, correct perspective. See how this piece is like really important. All the lines have to match. Everything has to make sense as far as where the placement of that tablet or whatever that Bible is or whatever the book is there, and these other books that I arranged on the table and the mirrors and everything had to match. And so when you get used to doing illustration, technical illustration, you learn to do perspective. You learn to do horizontal lines. You do everything has to line up and everything. I don't know if I'm terming it right, but anyway, the good that worked out of something bad, is I learned to do this, and now I'm a more complete illustrator than I would have been had I not had the technical illustration background.
Right. And there's so many comments about this because, right, I'm really actually sad this was taken out because it shows, right, that facing consequences. That's something. Again, I think this book would have been great for you. Maybe it's something that you can write yourself or some version of it and take your illustrations and create something. I don't know, but teaching that you need to face up. There's always a consequence to our choices, which I think our kids need to learn nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
See, we hadn't talked for quite a while because, like I said, John moved to Washington and he was busy doing a lot of other stuff, and he got blessed up there too. But and so it was my fault. It was taking so long. I mean, this is 3 years worth of work.
I see.
Oh yeah, no, it was a lot of work.
Yes.
But I wasn't going to give up, and so and plus he paid me. He already had paid me.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so I couldn't give up. So I could have, I guess, paid him back, but
Right. Well,
anyway.
Never know. Maybe something will come of that.
Okay. This one I don't have the sketch for, and this is.
You mean the final four?
This is the final.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't have the idea sketch because this one. What did I use? How did I come up with? Oh no, I do. I didn't include the sketch. I'm sorry. Or maybe it is here.
I just assumed this. Oh, there we go. That is.
There it is. That's okay. That's the sketch. Yeah.
Because it wasn't in color, so I thought there were two different sketches. But go ahead.
Yeah.
We'll start with this one.
That's the sketch, and this is where Ori, mom, stands at the bottom of the stairs and say, "Ori, where's the teapot? I don't see the teapot. Do you know where it's at?" And Ori gets scared and runs to the bathroom jumps into the shower and hides in there. Well, the pages before, she has a tea party with the stuffed animals, so I thought it was only natural. This is my comic book thing, okay? So I'm going back to doing comic book panels.
Right.
So I threw, just for fun, the stuffed animals on the bottom of it. I was playing with ideas. Yeah, I just kind of sketched them out. Okay, is this going to work? It's going to work. And plus I was kind of in a comic book frame of mind. So I did the panel and I created these weird panels and stuff like that. So you got three things happening. You got her going to the shower. You got her locking the door. and then turning the water or going underneath the shower, whatever. No, actually, she goes into the bathroom, locks the door, and then gets in the shower. That's what it is.
Right.
Anyway,
and so I like that because I can see where you are come out with this whole idea of the comic book.
Yeah.
You know, the way you've got this framed.
And,
right.
And see, look at the thing on her head. That's a comic book look, the sparks and everything, you know, flying off the head and everything.
Right.
Because this is right after mom. She knows mom is wise that the teapot's not there. So she's scared and runs into the bathroom. But this stuff was amazing. And I'll go back to it. Actually, I've been a year working on this Bible scene. But it's fun to work on this watercolor board by Amsterdam. And as far as I know, Amsterdam is the only one that makes it. It's like about I don't know, 3/16 of an inch thick or whatever, but it's got this cover on it that you can just work to death, you know.
Right. And so the choice on this one, how come no color on this? Is there a certain choice?
To speed it up. I was running out of time. Well, it was just taking so long. And so that's why I went to the charcoal sketches, was to make it quicker.
I see.
Color was taking so much longer to do, and I wanted to get it done.
Right.
Because I was under the idea, it was just, I thought I'd be making income off of it once we got it done, and it didn't turn out like that. But, you know, it all works out for good.
Yep.
So no, it really does. It really does.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's really a nice rendition of this, guys. Right.
Okay. This is, okay. So I'll go back. This was the original. This was the sketch for the other two that you've seen.
Okay.
I didn't put her in the bathroom. Actually, this is a combination of 2 pages. This is her hiding, that she's going to be hiding in the, I did a closet instead because I thought this was going to be the page. It's getting confusing. It's been a long time since I did the book. Well, not a long time, maybe 4 years, 5 years. Anyway, so I sketched an idea of a girl hiding in a closet, scared, and then mom's at the bottom of the stairs telling her, where's the teapot?
Right.
And I think it'll make sense on the next page, I think.
Okay, so I'm hoping I have the next page.
It does. This is mom at the bottom of the stairs calling, where's the teapot? And that's what causes her to run to the bathroom.
I see. So,
and
right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And see, so that is the sketch for this page.
Do you need me to go back to that last one?
If you want to.
Okay, so that's the sketch for this one. Okay.
Right. So I had Priscilla stand at the bottom of the stairs and look up at me when I took the pictures. Then I had her daughter, I wish I could remember her name, go into the closet. I didn't know where it was. I just wanted a feeling of fear. And I divided the panels. See how I did again, back to the comic book thing? So I divided the panels between fear and mom at the bottom causing the fear. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So she's the one. Yeah. I still want to be a comic book artist, but they don't. I might be doing. Side note: I was interviewed by a guy in London, and there's a guy in New York too that does indie comics. That I might be doing comic book covers after I get this Bible scene done, if it's still open. We'll see. Right.
Or you could create your own.
Yeah, but I don't have the income to do it, to market it.
Well, there's a lot of social media. You just have to become a social media expert, because I know a lot of people are making. I've had, a few people on here that seriously make a lot of money just being on X and X alone. So I'm like, wow, you guys are awesome. But it's a lot of time, a lot of dedication. But, hey, I'm with you, because I'm trying to get the show marketed as much as possible. So I completely understand.
Oh, yeah. No, I hear you. Yeah.
Final,
what's that?
This is the final piece of what we just saw, right? And this is that beautiful comic book look on that, right? And she knows that.
And this is
exactly.
like I said, I just had her stand at the bottom of the stairs, and I took a picture and everything. So yeah.
Right. Just I love it. Love it.
This was a fun one because I played with perspective on it and foreshortening. There's another one I think I got in here of the foreshortening, which is a difficult thing, really. I mean, unless you're really into it and everything to get it to work. That's it right there.
Okay.
This
Now,
is one of my favorite pieces of the whole book because I felt that this is the most illustrative of any of the pieces in the book. I stood on a ladder behind Priscilla and took a picture of her standing down, and that and the computer stuff over here, or the stuff on the wall, is the only thing that was in the actual house. The stuffed animals were I bought at Goodwill and laid them on the floor here in my barn and took photographs of them and drew them. And that isn't a complete picture. I didn't take a complete, there's more to that picture. Yeah.
So is this the final piece? This is not the final piece?
Of the book?
No, this picture.
Oh, that I sent to you?
No. The picture we're looking at, this is not a sketch, everyone.
This is the only one I had. I didn't have the sketch. Yeah, I didn't have the sketch for this one. Yeah.
Right. That's just a great piece. I know it is. It's a good one. Don't we just love the detail, everything around here too, right? And the wonderful way you can see the animals, you can see the bookcase, the way it's looking down. This is really wonderfully detailed.
And she's playing with it. Yeah, this was a fun one because her hands and everything to get it perfect, and
Right. That's awesome. So how long does it take you to actually sketch out a piece per se? I know that you have a life, but if you kind of had to guess, you said several months just to do one.
Well, this one probably didn't take that long. This probably took, it might have taken 6 weeks. I don't know, because I can come in here and do a little bit. It depends on what was going on at the time. I don't think this one did take that long though. I think this was pretty quick.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know how many hours. Maybe 3 days a week, maybe 3 hours a day, maybe 9 hours a week, maybe, something like that. Right. So this could have taken 6 weeks.
Right, couple of months. Very, very time and very much detail on this. Awesome piece. Absolutely awesome.
Okay, this was a tough one too, because this is where Mom is leaving the house, and this is where Ori takes the teapot. So yeah, she's leaving out the door. Mom's going outside, and Ori sees the teapot and then takes it. And this is where she will leave. Next, go upstairs with the teapot.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
So and because we're looking at ones that are black and white, were these ones all left this way, or are there color versions of some of these?
No, this is all black and white. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Again, it was to make it quick because I was taking so long. Things were taking so long, and I wanted to get it done. So.
Right. Very, very true. Very detailed. Very realistic. Yes, guys, I totally agree with you.
And I did have the sketch. I don't think I could find the sketch or something, but there was a sketch that was before this.
I don't know if you sent me a sketch on this either.
I don't think I did. Because I think I was sending you too much stuff. I started to count the stuff I sent you. I think I sent you too much. So.
Well, if we always want to be here all night, yeah, absolutely.
Well, no, we could, yeah.
Yeah, we could easily, yeah. But I always say, yeah, we usually do about 25, and it takes an hour and a half just to even go through these because we want to see the detail and want to be able to discuss them. And this is just awesome piece, absolutely awesome. Now, this one you sent me, and it doesn't have any of the characters in it. So I was kind of wondering how this fits in.
Let me read it to you if I can find it here. Okay. So this was actually the first page I did for the book. Okay. So this is on page 3. Well, page 7 of the book, but page 3 of the illustrations. Okay. So this is after Oriana was asked about the milk run.
Mhm.
And then so she said, Mom says, any trouble getting through all that snow, little darling? The milk run. And Oriana says, no problem at all. And then a mourning dove cooed from the redwood tree across the kitchen window as Oriana savored her beloved winter oatmeal stuffed with dried cherries and cinnamon. So that's the dove cooing in the window.
Nice. Right.
And, yeah. And that was the first page I did. And I didn't really know how I would approach it. So this was the one that was a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man, I just love the rendering of this. You know, probably one of my favorites out of this whole thing, because there's just little things on here too. Like you can see the sunbeams coming through the window of the light, right? You can see the reflection on the copper pots and then on the glass and so forth, and then the light bouncing off of the apples and everything. It was this is really beautifully. I mean, they all are, but I don't know. You know me. Every morning I say, "Be the light." So this one just screams out to me because I'm like, "Oh, be the light."
Oh, I should have sent you a better picture of it, because this was just a photo that I took with my camera. Well, my phone, pardon me. I could send you a better one if you want to see it more exact. I think I've got other pictures of it. Yeah.
No, I think it's just, you know, wonderfully done. Yeah. And it also gives us an example of the fact of, you know, how we create clean borders and things like that. A lot of people probably don't know, you know, and how do you put a page down without it warping? So I like to show that, you know, the process of some things, you know, because people, I think that they're really interested in seeing the process of our work. But this
one, I think I played with the watercolor wash on that and stuff too. So yeah.
So this one's not pastel. This one's watercolor.
Yeah. Pastel. It's watercolor and watercolor pencil.
Okay.
Yeah.
So different from even the other ones. What medium do you like best? Watercolor, pastel, charcoal? What's your favorite?
Pastel the best. I don't know. It varies. It depends on where I'm at, you know. Mm-hmm. There's sequences where I was just so into charcoal that was it, or pencil, or pastels or whatever, you know.
Right. You know, and it's really interesting because when I see your work as pastel, that's the normal tones I'm used to. I didn't even know that pastels came in like these bright, vibrant neons until we had other artists. Like, wow, because they're usually like this that's why they're called pastels in my mind too, is because they come off with this very pastel color, you know, with the light hues. So it's really interesting. And I just really like this one a lot.
Well, this Bible scene that I'm working on now, I'm just going to really do some intense oranges and reds and stuff in it. And it's based on Genesis chapter 13, where Abram and Lot separate. Lot chooses to go to Sodom and Gomorrah. And that's the whole idea. That's so symbolic of life.
Right. Now, we don't have a sketch for this one.
No, I don't have a sketch.
But
that one, that one, how did I did have a sketch, but I ran out of, I didn't, because I had too many pages in there. I didn't put the sketch in for you to see my idea. But it was just of her, I got the page to read to you, if I can find it here. Let me go through here. Yeah, it's somewhere in here. Oh, come on.
I almost thought this was like the last, one of the last ones, because I'm like, oh, okay, they've made up, they figured it out, and now they're getting their party all together.
Let me see. I may be wrong, and maybe that one didn't get in the book either.
Wow.
Let me see here.
That's kind of interesting. Why did this one get rejected? It's such a I don't know why. Right, guys? I mean, exactly. This is an amazing piece.
You know what? it didn't. That was another page that didn't get in the book.
Wow.
Yeah, I forgot. No, that page didn't get in the book. That was where they were preparing the Christmas party.
Right?
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know.
Yeah. This was where if there was anything better than Oriana's excitement for the day's event, it helped her mother in the kitchen, laughing as they worked in small kitchen errors. And that was another page that's there. But so I had 2 pages kind of doing the same thing. And then that one didn't make it. So, which is a shame. I thought I liked it. You know, I had really,
I know. Go ahead.
I had really a lot of fun with that teapot, that deer teapot thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was really neat to take and shine the light on it. I think I got it at Goodwill or something.
I just can't even imagine, I'm like, because some of these pieces that you said didn't make it, I'm like, why in the world? I'm still just trying to figure that out. But, I don't know. But this is, as far as my viewers are concerned, everyone is loving on this piece. And it's really beautiful. It's awesome. It'd be a great Christmas card. Wouldn't it be, guys?
That might be an idea. That might be an idea. Maybe I'll do that. Because that one thing the Lord has given, my wife is a really good writer, and that might be what source of income is to do some cards and use my artwork. But
I'll tell you what. Go ahead. Around Christmas time, if you're in the artist corner, we have this whole Christmas card thing that we do. We take our paintings, we turn them into Christmas cards.
Oh, really?
We print them. Sometimes we send them to each other. Yeah, everybody knows they get a Lady H painting in a Christmas card that I get prints made. Exactly. I started something, and then now a lot of us are doing that. Where, because we got so many things. How great it is to send it out to each other.
What's nice is digital. You can just print it really easily. I actually, when I still had the money, I bought me an $800 printer because this friend of mine that's an artist. He sells prints for $20, which is cheap. He does beautiful work, but he reproduces them. All his prints are done on his printer. But he's got a really nice printer. Right. So I bought one, and it's sitting in there. But I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do with it. So,
yeah, I have a limited edition. And so, and I have them numbered. I do a certain amount every year. I have them printed, because I have my little list of my wonderful artist friends and family, of course, too. But, not everyone first of all, my paintings are huge, so they're try to find that space. So they can now frame a little tiny piece of me. Yeah. Every year. But this is something we do in the corner, don't we, guys? That is awesome.
So that's going to be Christmas. Okay, cool.
Yep. This would be a great Christmas card. And, you can always add little things wherever you want to put a Merry Christmas or whatever you want to that write wonderful little handwriting on it. I agree.
Maybe one of the reasons was she doesn't have anything in her hand. So it's maybe kind of weird. But I didn't want to detract from the teapot. So.
Right.
That's the most fun I had on it, was just really just going intense with the contrast right in the corners of the light and everything where it hits the teapot. Right. It just really sparking it. And as I was learning about pastels and just laying them down thick, because some of these pastels are like oil paints. I don't paint, so I don't know. But I do acrylics, but I don't really enjoy acrylics. But anyway, the pastels, if you put it down pretty hard, it'll like bam.
Yeah, do you have the original still? Because it's not too late. Yeah. It's not too late to add something to her hand if you wanted to.
I guess I could. Yeah.
But that's up to you, or you could kind of maybe crop it out. I don't know what you wanted to do, but because of the wonderful set and the reindeer and everything like that, it's just a beautiful and a mother-daughter moment. Yeah. Baking for the holidays, wishing you a Merry Christmas.
I could do that. I could actually, the way I would handle that, if I were to do that, add a teapot to her, I would take a piece of tracing paper, put it over the drawing. I would actually get a exact copy of the drawing. I wouldn't want to do the drawing because this is on board anyway, and do a tracing of it, and draw using the tracing paper. Put a teapot or a cup, whatever, at the end of her hand, just to make it work. Then if that worked, I would take the composite with the tracing paper overlay and do a digital a grid and transfer it to a board and redraw it. I know that's hard, but anyway.
No,
Yeah.
that is awesome. I mean, people are
Yeah.
saying maybe even a calendar.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. I just think that's awesome. So everyone, the viewers are thinking outside the box. So, what you want to do, or just maybe inspiring in your future work, because it's a great way to, give little pieces of yourself to your families and friends and stuff as well. So that,
Yeah.
but we love it. We think this one would be an excellent Christmas card for sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, we're on to our last few here, guys, because I just love this piece. It's always hard for me to choose one for the promo, but this is the sketch that inspired this.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. I'm back.
Okay.
All right. Tell us about this piece. This one here is so cute.
Okay. This was, okay, let me read you what's going on here. Okay. It's down at the bottom, but you probably can't read it anyway. John actually he changed it for the book a little bit. This was his sketch. Actually, his short story he gave me. These were the words from it, but let me read you the actual words from the book. So after breakfast, Oriana measured pastry flour beside your beaming mother. Both delighted in their shared venture. If there was anything better than Oriana's excitement for the day's event, it was helping her mother in the kitchen, laughing as they worked at small kitchen errors, like the time Oriana accidentally doubled the salt, or the antics of the clever cats who constantly sought to divert their attention from cutting and measuring. So I read those, all it is words to me, okay? So what really was the curious, clever cats, or the antics of the clever cats. So that right there stuck in my mind. I've got to work them into the piece, okay?
Right.
Notice I designed them in an L shape. Notice they break the plane of the border. They aren't complete. So that allows you to enter in. They aren't keeping you from doing that, from entering in the picture. These are all just rough sketches. I needed a woman. For some reason, I had a design to keep that L-shaped sort of thing going. So I have her bending over the stove, getting something out of the stove as she's baking. And then Oriana, that V shape of her elbows, the V shape of her head, and notice how it's all held together by the geometry in the back, the windows. Right. That holds the whole piece together, gives it a whole background where they're active, But the people that like this, and this actually ended up being the cover for the book, because everybody loves the cats laughing at them or making faces or whatever they're doing.
Yes. And I do like that they're breaking, the edges and they're coming out of the borders. I love that a lot. And it gives them so much personality. I had to choose this for the promo because it was just like, everything about this is adorable. But those cats have their own beautiful personalities going on. They're mischievous. They're fun, fantastically rendered. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, the whole picture's great, but those cats take the stage on this piece, right?
Yeah, they did. Notice the cool colors and the warm colors, because I was really experimenting with composition as far as colors and stuff like that. So you've got the greens and the blues, but mostly it's a lot of warm colors in there, except for the gray of that one cat, because I had to choose for something that was kind of like a not neutral but cool to balance it all out. If there would have been two warm colors on that edge, it would have looked weird because it would have thrown the balance all to that one side. You see what I mean? Mm-hmm. But because I had the gray cat there, that balanced it with the blue of the milk.
Exactly. Well, in the background too, with the tiles and so forth in the pantry and stuff, you can see that complementary, of the gray. That's in other places. Also right, exactly. Also the measuring cups and so forth. Just really, Absolutely. Yeah, I knew you guys were going to light up with this one. Isn't it just awesome? But it's Saturday too, so go ahead.
And that milk jug, I just went in the refrigerator and grabbed a thing of milk and set it on the table.
Right. That is awesome. That is just great. We're loving this. I know everybody's got a lot. I know they're all adorable.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. Right. That is true. And that's exactly what they're saying. Go ahead.
I as a kid, I wasn't a cat person, but since probably about 97 or whatever, went through a divorce and just a lot of stuff. Everything changed in my life, and the Lord used it for good, but everything changed. But cats became my best friends. So anyway, I've got 4 ferals here that are, well, I mean, I'm the only one that they'll come to. And pet, I had to grab one out of the tree last night because he wouldn't come down out of the tree. And he came down halfway and wanted me to pick him up and take him out of the tree. But he will not, they're ferals, so they won't go to anybody else. Anyway, and my affection, to explain my affection for cats, I've got a black one. She's pure black. She's a feral, small kitty with very little paws, born under one of the sheds. But we've gotten really close. I call her Mighty Mouse. But she's a black cat, but with the sun hitting her just right. There's this auburn underneath the black. It's beautiful. Oh, and there are black cats that have that. They have an undercoating of an auburn red underneath their black. Anyway.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Right? I just think that is just awesome. And it's a perfect day because I didn't know how that even got started with the whole Saturday Catterday thing. But, I was like, it was perfect. Absolutely perfect. And they're so playful, so much fun. And I hate to say they took the show, but they take the show. I mean, this girl and the mom are rendered beautifully. You guys look at the detail of the plants, the detail of the glass jars, right? The containers, the measuring cups and so forth. It's just absolutely phenomenal. But they do that little orange one with the blue eyes. I'm sorry. Just love it. Absolutely love it.
Well, he's the one that's coming right at you, and then the other 2 are kind of curious, and they're reserved, but he's not.
Nope. Yeah. Nope. They're all pretty full of life.
But see, it all began with that one line that's talked about the curious cats or mischievous cats or whatever. So I built on that. That became the foundation of the whole piece. Was the cats. Right.
Just so much fun. So much fun. I agree, everyone. I'm glad, right? It's a great one to finish up on. But there's also something here. This is kind of what made me think about, like, why are these not a Christmas card? Especially when I saw it in this format. And I know this is the book.
Yeah.
But just at first, before I downloaded it and put it into the presentation, I thought this was a card.
Oh, no, that was a cover. That's a cover for the book.
Right? Look at that.
Yeah. And so I told the publishers, I said, I want to do a different cover. And it was weird. I don't know. You just got to deal with it and go on. So, I mean.
Right. I don't know. I mean, I probably would have designed the cover a little bit different as well, too, because I think it cut out a few things. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't like it, but, they went. And they did what they did, so.
Right. Exactly. Publishers.
Yeah. And really, that's what I think was the biggest damage to a selling point because of the cover, because of its paper and the price. So when I had it at Barnes & Noble's, because it's available online and stuff like that, and it was available all over the place, but I did a local Barnes & Noble's to see about selling it, and it just didn't sell.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I hate to say, but publishers, and you can also self-publish on Amazon for free. So there's a lot of options that you can do right now. Where you don't have to have it published, but you're not the author. But if you ever think about doing this,
John does John, that's what he does. He self-publishes, but we thought we'd get more interest by going through a publisher.
I see. Yeah. And I know. I know a few.
And John was nice. I mean, he put up money to get to do this, to publish it.
right? I don't know, right? I guess, I don't know how much you have to pay to have that done, but that's probably why I would have turned into, the self-publishing, because I don't want to pay no publisher. You should be, taking up anyways, but we love this. We love this. Absolutely awesome. We love this work. This is fantastic. I'm so glad that you were here on this show with us tonight. So what last things would you like to say to people for inspiration as they are, first of all, everybody go give them a follow and tell them, and share. I should say this. Remember to hit those like, follow, share, and support. But we always like to leave with a bit of inspiration for our viewers, especially those that might be considering, drawing or painting or whatever. What would you say?
Okay. A key phrase, because I did teach and I'd be willing to teach, and I did used to, actually I taught at a Christian high school and everything. Anyway, for a very short time, which I'd done longer, but couldn't afford to keep doing it. But anyway, the drive and the desire / drive is what makes you the artist. The rest is exercise. If you have the drive to create, to draw, get to work. It's exercise after that to learn how to do it. Part of the learning, and the way I teach, is drawing what you see, getting to where you're so. And again, I didn't go to college or anything, but this is just my thing. But is if you can master rendering and create this file cabinet in your brain of images, then you put them all together to create masterpieces. But the basic, the baby steps are to realize, for one, you're an artist. So often when I was at the gallery or whatever and talking to people, and do you like to draw? Yeah, but I'm not an artist. I just like to draw. Well, no, your liking to draw determines that you are an artist. A lot of us think that you're an artist when you get paid well, but that's not it at all. Van Gogh got paid nothing. He sold one painting. Yeah. And it was his sister-in-law that actually made him famous after he died. Really sad story. You know how he died? It was really sad. He shot himself, but he didn't die immediately. He died the next day.
Right.
Anyway, won't go into
depression.
That. Yeah. But back to what I'm saying, it's the desire that you've got to explore. And part of it is exercise, learning, drawing, continuing to draw. One thing I do tell people is, if you're want to draw, go to your local Barnes and Nobles, your local whatever, sit in a coffee bar, take a sketchbook, fairly good sketchbook with some pencils, and draw what you see. And if it doesn't look like it looks, ask yourself why and redraw it. And keep redrawing it until it looks like it looks. You teach yourself natural perspective because your brain's going to absorb it all. Use your eyes and your hand. Shut your brain off too. But another thing, turn your brain off. Use your eyes and your hands, and that's it. And get to where you're so comfortable rendering that then you can start to create. Then you can start to run and do that. That's how I do it. But anyway.
Right.
If I was to inspire anybody, if you have the least desire to draw or least desire to create, go to Michael's or whatever and get yourself a sketchbook and some pencils, put a cup on top of the counter and draw it over and over again until you can do it where you get into the zone. When you get into the zone, when you reach that place where everything's firing on all cylinders, and it may take you a half hour to get there of sketching. It may take you 5 minutes. It may take you 45 minutes, but don't give up. Keep doing it until you get to that mental place to where you're in the zone and you're just having so much fun because everything you're doing is working.
Right. Anyway. I agree. But the whole point is get in, try, have some fun, and don't give up because all you can draw is a stick figure. That's why I love to do some of these Throwback Thursdays where I first started, it's like, oh my gosh. And it's like, what in the world is this? And it's basically a few steps away from stick figures. But you know what? We all have talents. and
Yeah.
drawing may be yours, painting might be yours. That's why I love actual abstracts, because it doesn't have to make sense for you to play with the color.
No.
So, but you got to, you know, if you want to create, get up and try, right? Have fun. Have fun. I love it.
See, back to what I'm saying. I mean, rendering is what I do. So that's just my take on it. But actually one of the ones that really, I remember going into a place in Cambria, it's actually an art gallery, and seeing a copy of Jackson Pollock's paintings.
Mm-hmm.
And I just stood, I was just like blown away. You could feel the force and everything of as he was throwing. I guess he would suspend himself on a rope and throw paint and whatever. And the power of that was just like incredible. It just blew me away. Anyway, totally opposite of what I do. Anyway.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily throw paints, but I understand Jackson Pollock, and we kind of stand. The whole entire floor was his canvas. I mean, that's how big his canvases were. And he'd stand and he would just, fling and flow. But, I mean, that's why we're all different, to bring our own wonderful talents to the stage. So I have had a wonderful night, my friend. I'm so excited that you were here. You guys, he's also got a website. It's in the permanent chats, and I put that into the live chats as well. But you guys know to find him on X, and you guys can go check out his website as well. Let's support a local, right? And give him some love, and definitely give him a follow, and let's all share.
Thank you. And thank you all for, I didn't see a lot of the remarks. I saw some of them, but thank you all for,
You're
and,
welcome.
It's joy. Joy is not dependent on circumstances. Joy is an internal thing. Happiness is dependent on circumstances, but joy is something different. Just as artists, art is from within. And if you got a desire to do it, do it. And if you don't, that's fine, because you got other skills then.
That's right. I agree. Well, I hope you have the most blessed night and weekend. I'm going to see you in the corner and on the socials.
Yep.
And thank you so much for being my guest tonight, Steve.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Have a great night, my friend.
All right. You have a good night. All right. Night.
Bye-bye. Oh, that was just so much fun. Right? Don't we love looking at art, guys, and be able to see everybody's process and how different every single one of them are? I'm always excited to have artists on the shows. You guys, I just put out another announcement booking late August and now September, and people are probably like, what? I don't even think that far. Well, that's how fast I book. So spread the word. Help me share that out, because if you want to get on the books, you better get on them now, because we are already booking so far in advance. But that just lets you know how many amazing artists are still coming on the show for the next few months. Super excited about that. And we always do those on Fridays and Saturdays. But tomorrow, everyone, is going to be a fun show. I hope you guys join me on our wonderful Sunday. Tomorrow, guys, the Sunday reset. We are watching some videos on how to make some shepherd pie. And I found this amazing video on this honey cake. It doesn't necessarily look like that. It looks even better than that. Something for you guys all to try. I'm so excited about that. So we are there to feed your body and then also feed your soul. So the first half, we're going to be showing you great videos on shepherd pie and honey cake. And then we're going to talk about doubt. I loved our guest last night so much, who was talking about these amazing things, right? This whole mindset. It's like my new favorite thing, this grace mindset, gratitude, reconciliation, accountability, compassion, and encouragement. And as I was looking, as we're discussing our next apostle up the order here is Thomas, getting nicknamed Doubting Thomas. But is doubt really a bad thing if you want to know and ask questions and learn? Is it? Because he never labeled him as doubt in there, but he did. He needed to see stuff. He needed to ask questions. He needed to do all this kind of stuff. So I've got some great videos on the story of Thomas, and also what does it really mean about doubt? So if you guys want to come for a really good feel-good story, a feel-good night, we're going to be there, like I said, feeding your body and then feeding our soul. So please join us for the Sunday reset tomorrow. And I'll be doing that promotion as soon as we are done with the show. Super excited about that. All right, you guys, make sure you are going and thanking our wonderful artists. And please, again, share out this show. We need your support here on the show so they can continue, guys. That means I need your help. So please like, follow, share, and support, whether it is subscriptions, ranting, cash apps, pills, and tips in all their forms. And with the 5 shows we do here, guys, help the lady out. I appreciate that. All right, we're going to be doing, like I said, the promotions right after this show. So you guys give me a follow here. And I see you. I'm trying to thank you guys. I'm trying to do better on making sure I say thank you for sharing. But I am seeing that. And I cannot tell you how grateful I am. But you guys can follow me on X at Lady Hamilton AR1. Also, our Artist Corner on X, which is Artist Corner TS. You guys can also follow me on Pilled, Truth, and Gabbed at Lady Hamilton Art. Let's give this wonderful team a huge shout out. Thank you, moderators. Whoops. I don't want to do that. Why is it? There we go. Thank you, moderators. You guys are truly the best team. Lady Hamilton moderators are truly the best. Let's give them some love and a follow as well. Starting with JJ, you guys can follow him on X, Truth, Gab, Pill, Gitter, and Rumble. We will show a great video that JJ makes on Sunday for the Armor of God. Let's give Tri-Stater some love too. You guys can follow him on Truth and on X. Our beautiful Nancy, you guys, thank you so much. Give her some love on Truth and on X as well. Frosty Pimp, let's give him some love on Truth and on X as well. And our beautiful Hockey, let's give her some love on Truth and on X. So excited. And please, you guys, don't forget to tell everybody about Headmaster's Homeroom, right? So we can continue to have these shows. Thank you very much. Well, we are leaving tonight with a great song from one of our Artist Corner family members, also our Artist of the Day today over there on X, Ma Bell and My Troubled Days. You guys are going to be jamming out to this song called Always This Way. So I'm super excited about that, and thank you so much for letting us play your music. So we're going to load that up from their wonderful Rumble channel. That way we don't get in trouble with YouTube. But I love it. Thank you so much. They're amazing. They just came out with album number 4. So thank you for letting us play your music. I hope you guys all have a fantastic night. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the Sunday reset. Everyone be blessed. Everyone don't forget to hit like, follow, share, and support. And everyone also don't forget to be the light. Have a great night, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
When the wind hits so harsh, something fast and softly spoken, words that spill into these empty pools, never meant that much to you. Life sounds so softly going nowhere fast. All these things spinning around in my heart. God knows you've been broken slowly. This conversation taking time, what's been driven out softly. Cool notes that sink to soft shadows, gentle whispers turn to shivers. What's the thoughts when they've been censored? Wonder where that time's been blurred. I sound so softly going nowhere fast. All these things spinning around in my head. God knows you've been broken slowly. This conversation taking time, but it's been driven out softly. God knows you've been broken slowly. This conversation taking time, but it's been driven out softly. So softly, going nowhere fast. All these things spinning around in my head. God knows needs you been broken slowly. This conversation take a time, but it's been driven down softly. God knows needs you been broken slowly. This conversation take a time, but it's been driven down softly. It's been driven down softly.